How to manage your starting capital from sports betting. When you do sports betting online, managing starting capital is a big part of your long-term strategy. The money you are going to commit should be treated as wasting money. Never bet the money you really need. Bet according to your capital. If you have $300, don't put $150 on a single bet. Better to start small and then increase the stakes as your capital grows. Remember to take into account the reliability of a sports bet. The higher you estimate your chances of winning, the more money you can commit, but without ever going over the barrier of 10% of your total capital. How to analyze your sports bet. Sports betting requires a certain rigor. If you do not want to relive the mistakes you made when you were young, it is essential to analyze your bets. What mistakes were made? Which sport was the most profitable? Which type of sports bet is the most valid? Here are some tips for taking a step back from your bets and studying them well. Here are some tips for taking a step back from your bets and studying them well. Keeping a schedule of your bets is certainly hard work, but it can be of great relevance to your future bets. A summary table will allow you to learn a lot about your way of playing and especially your way of winning. You will be able to see if you are more comfortable on single or double betting, if live betting is a game mode that you master. By classifying your bets by sport, if you play on several disciplines, you will analyze in which areas are your biggest gains. A good way to rule out certain sports and favor others. Another necessary tools, the table of gains and losses of your sports bets. The latter should be updated very regularly, especially if you bet a lot. It will allow you to see if you are positive or not in your bets. The most lucrative events will appear. Remember to always write down the bets you have made. It's a good way to see if your big bets have paid off. Do not hesitate to categorize your bets by type, live betting, sure bet, risk bet, in order to learn from your profits and losses for the future. Finally, to properly analyze your sports betting, you can also share your experiences with other players. Some sites offer you to share your experience and thus compare your strategies with those of other punters. Last solution, talk about your bets with betting friends. Debriefing sessions with others on your actions can sometimes be very rewarding for your future predictions. Long-term sports betting. Long-term sports betting allows you to bet on events that have a very distant maturity. This betting method is certainly a little frustrating, but it often pays off. Indeed, favorite teams or players win quite frequently in sports competitions, and sports odds rarely increase over time. Note that you can also make big gains by getting on outsiders. This long-term betting technique requires a good knowledge of the sport, but it can pay off. Multiple bets. The multiple sports bet allows you to bet on several events grouped together under the same bet. More random, this type of bet allows you to win much larger sums. We are talking about multiple bets from two cumulative events. If you are making a cumulative bet on two annual games, you have to find the two right outcomes to make money. Concerning the odds, the two odds of the events are multiplied in order to know the total odds of the multiple bet. The latter is often very interesting and generates big gains if you find the right combinations. Once you are experienced in multiple single bets, you can move up to the next level by betting on 3 or 4 matches or a full day of the championship. What is the value bet? The value bet is a technique of sports betting which aims to bet on odds which have been badly evaluated by the bookmakers. Bad estimates by bookmakers are quite common. Indeed, when it comes to little-known sports or foreign championships, bookmakers sometimes make false estimates. However, to spot a value bet rather than peeling through all the odds, there is a very simple formula. We just have to multiply the bookmaker's odds by the probability of a successful bet and divide the result by 100. If the result is greater than 1, you are in front of a value bet. The higher the result, the more the value bet will pay. The surbet. Surbet is a betting technique used to ensure winnings in your sports betting. The surbet is based on the odds differences that exist between the different bookmakers. In the same game, the gaps are more or less important, and it is a question of betting the ideal sum on the best odds to make sure you win money. You must therefore register with several bookmakers and use an odds comparator. Thanks to have seen this video, and don't forget to subscribe at my channel.